that we cannot connect in person, but we're definitely happy to have you here at our first virtual conference. So you've heard a little bit about me. Again, I'm Jennifer Ponder, Senior Leadership Fellow here. I have had the amazing opportunity to lead the front end track and also most recently the mobile and the cloud tracks as well. So just a little bit more about me. You know, I was one of those people who didn't have the traditional way into tech. So my background experience has come from the digital marketing and public relations space, but I was always interested in tech as a kid and just seeing what I could build. So that brought me forward with my experience. I have about 6 years experience between software research analyst as an analyst and also in software development. So for me, in a place where I was an associate program director for an online internet radio station, I started learning how to code. I started building things early. And one thing that caught my eye was I wanted to go to the Georgia Tech full stack software development program. So that's actually what I did. I said, I wanted to solidify my skills and then let's see what I could turn it into, because we don't know what will happen when we take those next steps. So I did that. I worked with some startups and nonprofits in Atlanta on several projects, from React Native to React 360 and also in machine learning. So I love all the opportunities that I have had and that the technical space has afforded to me. This year, over the past year actually, as a senior leadership fellow and just a leadership fellow, I have learned so much. You know, we have really had we have built a strong community across several tracks, but the front end track, this year we were able to offer offerings over JavaScript, React, Vue, Angular, and just seeing all of the great programming and webinars that we were able to create. But one of the things that I learned was the value of, you know, staying connected and the value of community. So what I want to talk to you about today is staying connected in this moment. We all know that most recently things have changed. The environment has changed. The economy has changed. The world is changing. We've all had to go and pivot to the digital space. And for some, you know, it's easier than others, and for others, it's not so much. So how can we do that? How can we stay connected in this time? And one of the things, there's 3 things that I always like to tell everyone with this, and that I want to tell you today. One of the first things, you want to make sure you're staying connected to family and friends, those close to you, because a lot of times when we feel like we're disconnected and we don't have, you know, we're in a space where we may not feel as strong on some days, your family and your friends are going to be the people that you can rely on and lean into to help you with your strengths, whether that's in tech or anything outside of tech. They can always help you and provide those resources that nobody else can. Also, too, staying connected in the community, you know, giving back. A lot of organizations such as Women Who Code, they have pivoted their offerings as well. We have a great vast community. Networks are going online with boot camps and digital workshops, and also the tracks. We have always been online, so that's been a great thing for us. So if you're able to just dive in deep to the community and learn from others and sharing, that's really important. And also too, staying connected in this moment, just to the mental space, to your mental health, looking at those signs about your personal care and how you're being affected right now. Always know to give yourself some grace, because that is what we need in this moment. Things have been, you know, not the easiest in this time, and we want to make sure that we are doing all that we can to, you know, reach deep inside ourselves to make sure we're taking the time that we need. So that is something that I really care a lot about. Another thing that I really love, you know, this has been something that has been really amazing to me, just building resilience through the power of connection in the community. So there have been so many events, from Women Who Code Connect 2019 through all of the summits that we had. You're looking at some photos right now of the Women Who Code Connect conference last year, and also the Leadership Summit. One of my favorite events that we had last year was Connect, and also Women Who Code Front End. And if you all were able to attend, it was in Berlin, Germany, and we had some amazing talks. So I want to talk about building resilience. You know, one of the things that right now in this vulnerable time and in this moment, how can we create that inspiration, you know, and that force of empowerment? You know, I think it's great when we can go to events like this, and even having it online, and feeling that we're able to share, you know, just our joys and everything that we love about tech. You know, one of the things that I always said about me, building connection in the community, to me revolves around, you know, several things. First one, creating visibility. I'm very passionate about being an advocate for women in tech, so I'm always looking for ways that I can amplify the voices of women, whether I'm doing a podcast or I'm doing a webinar with these women. You know, other than myself, I'm always trying to reach back to grab someone else to bring them along. You know, you always want to make sure you're giving back in some way. Also, too, how can you become a leader in the community? I know we talk a lot about, you know, just leading in our jobs and, you know, getting to that next step, whether it's C-suite for you or an engineering manager, but how are we showing up in the community? I lead a local meetup in Atlanta, Talk Tech Association. It is a part of Black Women Talk Tech. And what we do is provide resources to women entrepreneurs and startups who need help getting their business off the ground and need resources if you have technology businesses. You know, so one of the things I love to do is giving back to community. You know, this is one of those times where, you know, it's going to take all of us together to build this connection. One of the things that I've really learned from the community this year is just the joy that everyone has of learning new things, whether it's from tutorials or each other, just the power of connection. Even through Slack and social media, the tracks, they are mostly ran online, but if you all are a member of any of the tracks, you know that power of connection is something that just has been very powerful. One of the things, you know, that we like to do, especially, you know, be a connecting force for change. You know, how can we do that? How can you show up in the world? You know, if there are organizations that you've been thinking about at this time that you want to join to help, please do that, because we need more and more people stepping up to lead in the communities, especially in tech. Women, one of the things over 3.5 years ago that I noticed, you know, I've been there before to be that woman who's at a conference by myself. Either I'm the only woman there or I'm the only Black woman there. And that could be a meetup or anything. You know, one thing you don't let that do, though, don't let anything stop you or intimidate you from reaching your goals and your dreams. You know, that's one of the things that I always liked to see is passion in everybody. Don't let that stop you. I know it can be very hard, but you know, today we wanted to take some time just to connect with the community and let you all know that we're here to support you in anything you need. Another thing, along with that connection of being a force for change, make sure you're using your voice to amplify others. If there is something that someone needs to help them, you know, in their career, if you're being a mentor in the community, definitely keep doing that. Also, whenever you can, mentor as many people as you can. I know sometimes it's hard because how can you take on more than one person? But mentorship can look different. You know, it doesn't always have to be you're calling someone every week or just going over their code with them. Sometimes it can be just showing resources with them maybe once or twice a month. So you can determine that. Mentorship looks different in every way. But one of the things, you know, other than using your voice, especially right now that we need during this time period that we're in, is action. just creating that action, standing up and using your voice, and also getting into the community and being an active leader. And there are several organizations that you can do that. And of course, there are several. I know we're all here today to really be excited about the first day of code. There's several technical community organizations that you can be involved in as well. But one of the things that really I wanted to talk to you about too, about the track communities, I wanted to make sure every woman in tech was represented over this past year. And I wanted to make sure everyone's voice in every flavor of tech, and also every type of technical talk that we could find, I wanted to make sure that was displayed. Because there is a need for more women in tech, but we do need to have all voices there. So I wanted to step up and take the charge to lead on an initiative like this. And what we have learned from the community, what I've learned is it was really phenomenal. It resonated with women. And what inspires me a lot for women in this space is to hear the stories of, hey, you inspired me to go back for another certification, or what can I do to negotiate my salary? It could be just some easy questions like that. And some of the times it's not so easy, because we all know in some times of life, negotiating salary or trying to get a promotion has not been always easy in these spaces. But just to hear the stories of women who have got into tech and they kept going, the perseverance, it is phenomenal. So I really applaud all of our members, whether you're in our in-person networks. When we get back to being in person, we'll be so happy to see you, but our digital track spaces too. I really want to say thank you. Thank you all for being members of this community, and thank you for the work that you're currently doing and the goals that you're currently setting for yourself, because that is amazing work that you're doing. I know for myself also too, I'd like to say anything that you have that you want to do, any passion that you have, you can do that. Please know that you have the ability to do that, and nothing is stopping you. I've said for myself, I know, as I told you in the beginning, I have a non-traditional background in tech. I didn't get my BA in computer science, but I always knew as a kid, hey, I'm going to grow up and be in tech. I always had that will and that strong mind to be in tech. So I always knew about that. So one of the things that really resonates with me is lean into, if you also find something that really sticks with you and it does not go away and it does not leave, listen to that. And that could be in anything. And I know it's so many roles that you can take in tech now, but if there's any passion that you have there, definitely lean into that. Another thing I like to talk about too, about being a connecting force for change, is also too, what are you doing to connect to others to teach them? So a lot of times I know we're always so busy of, we have so many things going on. We have so many jobs to do. And sometimes the world can just seem so busy. But, another way that you can show up in the world for change and being a leader is just teaching someone else. If there's something that you really love, if you really like to do it and you found a great way of doing it, and it also includes others, definitely stand up to do that. We always talk about how, hey, if you've done your first tech talk, if you've led your first talk at a meetup, or, anything in the community like that, and you can share it with others and teach them to do the same thing, that's a form of giving back and being the force for change. Because if no one did it before you, that's going to be a phenomenal thing, and you'll feel really good. So I think the spirit of community and connection has been really very high and very strong today. You all have just really taken it to another level today with the connections and the networking. It was just phenomenal today. I was so excited because I know we gather every year for the annual conference, but I just wanted to have those words sit with you for a moment, because staying grounded and staying connected during this time it's going to be very important. I know that we all are moving to online Zoom meetings, Microsoft Teams meetings, and Google Hangouts, and we're connecting that way. But there are several things that we can do to, make that not so bad, because I know we'll have days where we're on calls and on meetings all day. But also when you can just take that personal time, to connect with family, connect with friends, and also making sure that you're connecting with yourself and giving yourself that grace, that will be just awesome for you in the future. But I definitely want to say today, this has been very great to see everyone from all walks of life across the globe, just getting into the technical talks for today. And also, seeing how these can be showing up in the world today. So one of the things I wanted to also share with you all, I know there's so many things that I have going on, but what I'm really passionate and excited about is how I can do something to change everything that's going on in the virtual reality development world. So for me, I love creating virtual reality apps. So one of the things I'm passionate about is taking on passion projects with VR and AR, and also I want to deploy some things to the cloud with VR. So that's something I'm really strong about, and I like to teach others. So one of the things that I did last year, another point of teaching and leaning into yourself, I facilitated my first class last year at the Facebook Developer Circle Community Build Day, and I led my first React 360 class. And that was such a rewarding experience. And just the women who were coming up to me to tell me that, they never tried something like this before. They were so happy that I shared this with them, and they hadn't looked into, they have not looked into something like this before. It was really amazing. So sometimes it's always that piece of yes that you have to lean into in yourself with taking on new challenges and persevering. So it can be this can look like anything. So being a connecting force of change can look like literally, like I stated, anything. If you're doing volunteering, teaching, helping someone online with pair programming, helping someone, if someone sends you a piece of code to debug. So, I just wanted to give you a plethora of instances where this could show up in your life for you. But definitely today, what I wanted to do is let you know we are so thankful for you all. Thank you to the attendees today. You all really showed up, showed your enthusiasm. We were so happy to see you come in and network with everyone for today. Also, thank you to our sponsors. We know this is really important for you all and us too. So we were happy to have you here as well. And also thank you to the speakers. This day is amazing, and we hope you had a great day, and we really loved your talks and having you here. And also thank you to the moderators. So of course I was one of the moderators today here. So if you know any of the moderators, I'm sure you all have been able to talk to the moderators, reach out to them, and some of them from the tracks. So thank you, Vivian, Gian, Sierra, and Mackenzie. This was amazing. And also thank you to the team. So this wouldn't be possible without everyone at Women Who Code. We definitely love our team and just want to give a big round of applause, virtual round of applause. And also, here's what's coming up next. So next Friday, June 12th, we're going to have Level Up Your Career. So this is going to be a chance for you to meet and greet with tech companies. We're going to hear about algorithms, interview prep, salary negotiation, and also navigating bias, and also leadership skills. So we definitely want you to come back, see us again next week. We had such a great time today. As I stated earlier, just make sure you're staying connected through the community. being the force for change, being the change in the world that you want to see. And also, too, just taking care of yourself in this moment, because other than staying connected, also, too, you want to make sure that you're putting yourself first and also saying yes to the things that you want to do. And that's going to keep you really on point at this time while we navigate the world right now. And also, too, be kind to someone. If there's someone that, is in the world and you see people not being kind to them or showing up, and it's okay, don't be the person who, does not reach out to help someone. So always be kind, and we're going to see you next week. So this was such a great day. I'm so happy that everyone enjoyed our first day of Women Who Code Connect Digital 2020. We are definitely looking forward to seeing you all next week. And yes, connect with me on Twitter and LinkedIn. I love meeting people and staying in contact with everyone in the community. I love technology, so let's have some great open connections and conversations as well. And I will see you guys next time. You women of the tech world next time. I definitely want to make sure we amplify women in tech, definitely.